YouTube, Dawson Ryder here. This is just going to be another small little update video on the recent news about an apparent Power Rangers movie in production, or not production yet, but in development with I almost said Hasbro. Paramount and Hasbro ship name, Hasbro. In development with Paramount. There was a couple details I missed and some other things that kind of came out with some of the articles reporting it, as well as people even in the comments were bringing up stuff that I kind of missed, because admittedly, I was in a little bit of a hurry to get that video out yesterday because I wanted to talk about it, and I also felt like I was late because I decided not to film something when the news came out the night before. But so I wanted to talk about a couple of those details. There's some interesting stuff within it, and just a couple other thoughts that I had, that I didn't get to talk about yesterday because I wasn't as relaxed. But anyway, I mean, I'm not that relaxed now, but more relaxed. But anyway, first of all, I did see some confusion about this. This has nothing to do with the Entwistle reboot. It's an entirely different project. They obviously let the team working on the Entwistle thing go like long ago. I mean, who knows? They could rehire some people maybe. Maybe there's going to be some scripts or ideas that were worked on that get incorporated into this, and we might hear about it, we might not hear about it. But as of right now, it's an entirely different project because, if I recall right, it was only going to be a TV series. I think at one point it was going to be a Netflix movie and then a TV series, but the last times it was being worked on, it was a TV series, and this is supposedly supposed to be a movie. That was another thing that was talked about, was that apparently the rumor is Paramount wants a theatrical release, but they are aware that the 2017 movie fell victim to a poor release date, so they're being conscious of it, and they're like, the rumor is, again, this is all rumor, take it with a grain of salt, tentatively targeting 2026 release date, I think later in the year if I remember right, which would make sense because I think that's when Doomsday comes out. So you got to pick your targets. You got to pick it carefully. You know, next year, I don't think it can not get it off the ground next year. I mean, maybe, I don't know how much movies work, but that would be an insanely fast production. I wouldn't want them to hobble something together that fast. But next year, obviously, I think Superman's going to be the big thing, and then the following 2 years, then you roll into Avengers movies. But you have to just kind of pick a date either like before or after it, and just, hope it goes well. So I do like to hear that they are kind of aware of it and are cautious of it. I kind of just like the tone of some of the stuff I'm hearing. I mean, right now, I'm going to say this probably multiple times, I'm taking all this with a grain of salt, and also I'm much more cautiously optimistic. I'm totally prepared for it to just never happen again. But just some of the tone of what I'm hearing sounds so different from what we heard about, like when Hasbro was pitching that supposed mmpr show, where it just kind of felt like we just have to make something. Whereas this feels like they kind of see potential, and they're being cautious and maybe even a little bit smart, and it almost feels like, from what we're hearing so far, that it's a good mix of they want to get this going, but they're not going to rush it either. And I did see some general talk, which I didn't even think about really yesterday, about just Paramount and what Paramount's doing, with Sonic, with Transformers, obviously, with Turtles, and there was people talking, even saying that that's part of the reason they want to get this going, is that they feel that they're doing good in these other areas and they want to add another IP. And I was thinking that actually makes a lot of sense, and I didn't think about how they have found, a degree of success with those other series and different platforms, and it made me think they could go the Transformers route, where you have the movies and then you have an unrelated animated series, or they could go the Rise of the TMNT route, where maybe they'll do an animated series that takes place between the movies. So I totally see that, and that makes a lot of sense, and I think that could actually work, because I was more so thinking of hit streaming movies on the bigger platforms like Netflix. I was thinking about streaming services yesterday. I was trying to think about the ones that had the biggest ones that blew up when they hit the streaming platform, but I didn't think about that Paramount has kind of a nice little model there where it's doing successful amongst its fans and amongst the new fans it's making with new TMNT and stuff, and the idea that they would want to add to their, their catalog makes a lot of sense, and I think that that's nice that they possibly see potential in the Power Rangers franchise with that. Something else other people were bringing up, which I also, for whatever reason, completely forgot about, was the idea, and maybe this isn't what they're thinking, maybe they are just thinking to do it kind of like Turtles and be like, hey, a movie and a TV show, but that there's that Transformers G.I. Joe crossover, and maybe they are laying the groundwork to do that. Maybe not even thinking about it concretely now, but wanting to get Power Rangers there, so the possibility is there. I wouldn't be mad at that if that is in the conversation. This is not even a rumor, this is just speculation. But if that is in the conversation, I certainly wouldn't want to see them try to fast track it for that reason. I don't think that would be the right way to do it. Power Rangers is a hard enough time, I think, trying to launch it for the sole purpose of a crossover, whether it be actually somehow trying to introduce them or tease them in that movie, or just really quickly get a movie out there so that they can be in the crossover. I don't think that's the way to go. Let them do this Transformers G.I. Joe thing, let Power Rangers do its own thing, get the movie out, hopefully it does well, maybe the TV show you want to do, and then think about it maybe for the next movie. Because I do think that has potential. I can't say everyone's perspective, but I just think that publicly, I feel like a Power Rangers and Transformers movie would draw a lot more eyeballs. Like, maybe that's just me. Like, I know G.I. Joe's a well-known thing, but I just think in terms of popular recognizability right now, not that Power Rangers is popular, but I think you know what I mean? It just makes more sense, you know? Like, if Power Rangers were to cross over with G.I. Joe or Turtles, like, Turtles would totally, and they've already done it, so I don't know. Anyway, lots of interesting possibilities I didn't think about, which is actually kind of cool, and I like that it seems that they actually are interested and see potential in it. And there was talks about the discussions they had about this project, and a rumor has it there was even talks of like a buyout, which is interesting, you know, since Hasbro, the current regime, clearly doesn't want it. And it's funny because, you know, you can infer anything from text, whether it's an article or a text your friend sends you, but it's just the tone I was reading all of these rumors in. Felt like they were at the meeting and Hasbro was like, please just take it. Like, we're willing to go as low as $14.99. All right, $9.99. We will pay you $10 to take this. You know, who knows, maybe after I post this, there'll be official sources posting about it. But as of right now, I'm just thinking, I really want to see like an official, like bigger, like name like IGN, TV Line or something. I don't know if TV Line would do it because they did announce the reboot being canceled. But you know what I mean? Like a site that's more well-known, talk about this and like hear more from Paramount that this is in development. I think that'll make things more concrete. The only other thing that was out there was I saw kind of multiple conflicting things. Like I saw some people just saying concretely it's a clean slate. Other people saying like they don't know whether it's going to be mmpr reboot or sort of mmpr inspired. Like as of right now, I don't think there's anything really concrete about that. If it were me, I would either do some kind of mmpr-ish reimagining or just clean slate. Like I wouldn't pick a random season from any time after that. I think that would make things more difficult than it needs to be. Like there's an ongoing debate about like whether mmpr nostalgia would work. You know, I think that all depends on your point of view. Like that's something I didn't miss about there being a possible Power Rangers project on the horizon is the discourse. Like immediately the same, like MMPR, no too much MMPR, like people actually don't even like it anymore. Like I grew up with this one, why aren't they doing this one? Sentai Forever, woke, and I'm like, oh my god, I did not miss this. Like, I'm excited about the movie, but I'm not looking forward to the discussion. And Power Rangers faces such an uphill battle. It's like a war on two fronts where you got the casuals that see it as nothing but cheesy garbage, and then you have the hardcore fans whose minds are welded shut. We'll have to see. This is interesting. What I do find interesting that I meant to mention in yesterday's video is that if this does end up happening, you know, we get a movie, even if it's just the one movie, Power Rangers has one of the most insane track records I've ever seen of a franchise that just won't die. Like, you know, a lot of franchises will have downtimes where there's like nothing, or kind of like we have right now. You might have a comic going, some third-party merchandise. It's actually pretty normal. Power Rangers fandom kind of had a bit of an overreaction to it. But it's kind of insane, like, Power Rangers, whenever they've been canceled, it doesn't last for long. Like, if this does happen, like, obviously we wouldn't get the movie till 2026, but the fact that there would be something in motion, like, within less than a year of it being canceled, basically, is almost mirroring what happened with RPM, where RPM was basically the end. And then you had, like, MMPR 2010 and the toy line as this weird buffer before then Saban came back. And then this is almost what's going to happen now, where you have it ending with Cosmic Fury, and then we're having this weird Play School MMPR toy line, which I'm curious what that's going to look like now. And then there's a new movie and show possibly. Like right now, this is something else, is that the show's just in talks. I think the movie's much more of a concrete thing, and the show thing was just a discussion. And people are like, well, how can they do animated? Toei said no. I'm like, well, then maybe they'll go talk to Toei again. It's not like they're like, well, they said no once, we can never talk about it again. Maybe things changed. I don't think it's impossible. You know, people like to act like Toei's a victim in all this. They're going to benefit if Power Rangers does well. Like, it's only the Sentai purists that are waging a war. Just the worst. I'm sorry. It's just kind of crazy and funny that, like, every time Power Rangers is canceled, within less than a year, something happens. So, like, I do kind of hope it happens just for that being kind of funny. Like, right now, like I said, very cautiously optimistic. I'm about 50-50, where I'm excited by the idea, and I'm excited by what I'm hearing and what it sounds like, that they see potential in it. But I'm also prepared for it to not ever get off the ground after what we went through. And almost like my reaction to as a fan would be the same, where like if this comes out I'd be so excited, but if it got canceled I'd just be like, it's fine, whatever, I'll just go watch the Superman trailer again. But yeah, I will keep you guys updated on everything, but just take everything with a grain of salt right now. Like even if this is true, be prepared that it might not happen, and then a lot of the stuff is still uncertain and none of it has been fully confirmed. And as far as the content of the movie itself, we truly don't know. Like there is nothing concrete out there. Like I think it's concrete probably that there is something in development with Paramount, but I don't think there's any concrete information as of this recording, whether it's going to be a clean slate, whether it's going to be MMPR or something in the middle. But anyways, guys, let me know your thoughts in the comments as always. Until next time, don't forget to like, comment, subscribe, and climb the steps and ring that bell to get notifications for my videos. Dawson Ryder, signing out.